Well, in Chelsea's near-perfect season last season, one of the few sides that did take points from the Blues was Leicester City. Can they recreate that feat this afternoon here at Kingsmeadow? And Lauretta, perfect afternoon for football, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, you know, Chelsea set up the first game against Man City, went with a 3-back, and then last week against Aston Villa, a 4-back, so then to revert and match maybe Leicester City up, make go player for player, same system, sometimes makes it a little bit easier in the clarity and roles and responsibility.
There's a strong tackle thrown in already by Millie Bright. She doesn't pull out of too many of them. Leicester City with an early foray down their right-hand side. Shouts about by Eirik Statia, but that ball stayed in right under the nose of the assistant on the far side. As Chelsea look to make the most of that giveaway, but can't get out of their own half. But an early sign from Leicester City that they're not giving up on any lost causes.
No, that's right. They'll have a clear identity in who they are, what they want to achieve, where they want to press. And again, I think they're aggressive. They're a young group. They'll work extremely hard, you know, to stay in this game. And I think also Rick Passmore will encourage them not to be fearless, to play the game, 11 players versus 11 players. You know, and they found it hard last week against Liverpool in moments they had to suffer without the ball. You know, and they will have, you know, they will have to do that today. They know that. But there will also be moments where, you know, they'll have a chance to really put their stamp on the game.
And that belief of playing the game for so long with a player less surely stand them in good stead coming into this one. It's a heavy touch in the midfield, and possession is immediately relinquished to Kira Walsh. And Chelsea just looking to control the ball, which I'm sure when we get the statistics pop up for the first time, they will be the side with significantly more of it. It's a long ball over the top here, and off the line quickly is Janina Leitzig. Read it well with a thumbs up for the defence in front of her, and the back line and the goalkeeper worked that one out.
Yeah, that's something Leitzig will have to do. She'll have to, you know, really assess the depth of the back line, the ball's coming through, and her positioning, her start position. Does she stay towards her goal on a goal line? Does she really come out and be that deeper sweeper to help her back line out for those through balls that Chelsea like to play to the likes of Macario, Aggie-Beever-Jones, who are so lively?
She's been talking to the press at the start of the season, Janina Leitzig. She believes they can do so much more this season after a third consecutive 10th place finish last season, as we see that tackle from Millie Bright. It's a strong one. She wasn't pulling out of that in the first minute.
No, and you can see why Tierney, you know, stays down with caught. Millie Bright got the ball, but also her ankle too. But both players who love to tackle, you know, don't back out of anything. Really aggressive players.
Sam Tierney pretty much right back onto her feet as well. Here's Kane. Tries to burst through the midfield, but is barged over by captain. And Leicester City will get an opportunity to load that penalty area with pink shirts.
Really good positive play from Hannah Kane. She's one of those players that will really drive this Leicester team forward. If she gets the ball, she'll go forward with its passing ability, looking up or driving with the ball.
As her manager surveys the situation. Light snacking on the substitutes bench as well. It's lunchtime. A lot of Leicester City got up their sleeves. Hannah Kane and Sam Tierney stand over it. Left for Tierney. Floated towards the back post. It's a good ball in. Unfortunately, just too much on it. And Leicester City unable to recycle it into a dangerous area. Just a foot or two less on that, and that would have been the perfect cross.
Yeah, they're the moments that Leicester are really going to have to concentrate on. I think Aggie-Beever-Jones is appealing that she's been obstructed by Payne to give Thibaut, you know, extra room and space at the back. But again, those set pieces chances are, you know, going to have to take real care on them.
And sneaking into the back post, a couple of pink shirts. Thibaut just a little bit taller, a little bit further ahead of the play. Should have been able to get a great right foot on that. First 5 minutes of the game, still goalless. It's Leicester City who've been doing a lot of the front foot defending, as once again Burrell comes all the way into the Chelsea half to try and win possession back. That does leave space in behind as Leicester City play with a high line. But the flag had gone up on this near side, and you could see that Thibaut was looking right across that line there.
Yeah,
catch them out.
I mean, like you say, really interesting. Leicester are pressing high. They're in Chelsea's half, really aggressive, and that's the line. Thibaut looked across, and I think Asmita Ale had to be careful. I think she took a step back before forward, but it was tight. But if you're brave enough to have that high line and hold it, you will catch these, you know, eager runners, the centre forwards, offside. So really good line. Leicester can be super chuffed with that.
Good shape early on from the away side. Here's Thibaut. Lead inside. Good hold-up play by Eiríksdóttir. That's a clever flick as well by Macario. Captain ends up on the floor, but gets the throw in. Zalay prevents it from going further down the line. Ellie Carpenter with their first opportunity to progress into the opposition half. As Rick Passmore hasn't taken a seat yet. Here's Macario trying to find a way through the wall of pink. Might find a better opportunity now. It's very loose on the edge of the penalty area. This is the chance, and we have the opening goal at Kingsmeadow. Slammed in by Aggie Beaver-Jones. Well, it was a little bit scruffy. It was a little bit scrappy around the edge of the penalty area. But if you give Aggie Beaver-Jones an opportunity from there, she will slam it home. And that's exactly what she's done. 3-3 for her in the WSL this season. And it's Chelsea 1, Leicester City 0.
She's always so alert. It starts with Aggie Beaver doing great work from the throw-in. And again, recycle the ball. And Berman, because she's left-footed, she offers great balance. She's composed. And like you say, look at Aggie Beaver-Jones in the centre. It's a real poor miss by Burrell, sorry. But Aggie Beaver, she's alive, she's sharp, she's on the back shoulder. She's looking for any kind of mistake. And that's it, 1v1 with the keeper. She's not going to miss from there.
Just went for pure power as the goalkeeper dived out of the way.
And again, and Leipzig, she has to dive, she has to make a decision, go one way. And again, but super good composure from Aggie Beaver-Jones just to wait out that extra second for Leipzig to make a move.
Well, she scored in the first half of both WSL games before today. Make that 3 for 3 for the 22-year-old. And she is one of those forwards, isn't she, who can go in behind, she can hold up the ball. Her manager, Sonia Bonpastor, has been talking about just that in the build-up to this game. There's not many better than her in the WSL. As Leicester look to keep up the momentum they had before that goal went in. Eiríksdóttir, big header at the back. Now Thibaut. Bit of space on the left-hand side. That was until the arrival of Vika Captain. Just came out of nowhere to win possession back in the midfield. Malay with the throw-in. Space in the middle here for Emily Van Egmond. She'll get it back. Blue shirts buzzing around the edge of the penalty area. Tierney can't get the 1-2. Thibaut. Space on the right-hand side. There's lots of pink shirts in the middle here, but it's cut back. And Kira Walsh is the shirt who receives it. Beaver-Jones needs support. Nearly found it. Van Egmond. Out to Cayman, who oversteps that and concedes the throw-in.
Yeah, Leicester are having some good spells. It's good to see Emily Van Egmond, number 5, you know, getting on the ball. She likes to make things happen. She's a really creative player. But again, it's in those transition moments when Leicester lose the ball that they really need to switch on, because Chelsea can attack you so quickly, so direct when the quality's there.
The quality just missing on that occasion. Too much power on the pass for Ellie Carpenter to chase after that. I was reading an article in the Telegraph about Ellie Carpenter, and they described her as an adrenaline junkie. She's full of energy down that right-hand side.
I used to play with Ellie Carpenter a few years ago in Canberra in the Australian League, and I think she was at 16, 17 then, and she hasn't changed. She just keeps getting more and more energy, but she's a fantastic player for Chelsea. You know, it's an addition to the league that, you know, we're super grateful for, because she is one of the world's best right backs.
Here's Ailey, big coming together on this near side. Carpenter bounced up to her feet quickly there. Here's Cayman and Egmond, closed down by Walsh. And Egmond into late tackle, thrown in rather foolishly in the end by Leicester. Just a bit too slow to react to that, but the triangular play from Leicester City in certain parts of the pitch is very impressive. Yeah,
it's really neat, really precise. You know, if they can keep building the confidence, yeah, it is late, isn't it? Berman clearly makes a put to put it out of play, and again, it's in those moments where maybe a little bit naive to try and win the ball, but just settle for the throw-in. It's those moments where, you know, you need to recognise the territory where you are in the pitch.
Leicester, 25 years of age. Icelandic midfielder, joined in the January transfer window. He left a mark on the Chelsea defender there. There's Van Egmond. It's close from Cayman on the right-hand side. Runs into trouble, though, and Chelsea can come away. Or can they? Might open up here for a shot, but it's scuffed, unfortunately. And that is easy all day for Hannah Hampton, but Eirik Statier, she saw a gap and a channel that she could take the strike at goal.
Yeah, and I think it's in those transition moments where you need to be positive. Have a look where the goalkeeper, Hannah Hampton, is on her line, you know, and really take a shot. She has a fierce shot. Coming together off the ball will result in a Chelsea free kick. Julie Thibault protests her innocence, but gets the first yellow card of the game. Mal Bergen, under no illusion that that was worthy of a yellow card. Walsh goes across to Berman. And Baltimore, side to Macario. Now Walsh again. Chelsea showing that they can pass it around as comfortably as well. Bjorn to Bright. And Macario. Leicester with everybody back in their own half for the first time in this game at Kings Meadow. Get it back though, Carpenter's pass. Unable to find a teammate. Ailey, that ball had gone out of play. She's going to be walking a tightrope now, is Julie Thibault. Yeah, especially the way she plays. She's aggressive. She reads the play well, but she likes to get stuck in, win the ball as quickly as possible. But so it definitely does change your psyche and your mentality towards the game.
A yellow card in the 12th minute, something to keep in the back of her mind. Eirik Statier tries the long diagonal to the far side, but Kane was never going to get onto that one. There's a few familiar faces here at Kings Meadow this afternoon. Something clearly more interesting on the mobile, though. Well, they may be 1-0 down, Leicester City. Do you think Rick Passmore will be pleased with their start in this game, despite the scoreline?
Yeah, I think he will, because on a different day they defend that goal a lot better. It's a simple mistake. You know, Barao gets caught under her foot and it lands at Aggie Beaver, so it's a mistake. It's one of them. It doesn't happen on a different day. So, but again, Chelsea play like champions. You know, Leicester, you think you're in the game, and then all of a sudden it's 2-3-0, and they score out of nothing. So they really need to stay switched on, stay concentrated. But on this, like you say, Rick Passmore and the players can be pleased with the way they're being positive, keeping the ball, intricate passing. It's just that last decision making in that final third.
In the middle third, it's very scrappy. Chelsea are the side that come away with the ball. Carpenter just to Cuthbert. Keep seeing Katerina Macario drop deeper into the midfield as well. She's happy to receive the ball into feet.
Yeah, it's like Macario and Captain, you know, a box midfield with Cuthbert and Walsh at the bottom of that. You know, they have those higher players, Macario, and Captain has a license to move in and outside, really trying to exploit the space in between the Leicester backline and midfield.
He's bright. Now Hampton. As the supporters voice their support. That's a clever turn from Beaver-Jones. Spins away from her marker. She's got two in the middle. Beaver-Jones, she might not need them. She goes right instead. It's Ellie Carpenter, struck straight at Janina Leipzig. A great counter-attack down the left-hand side. Aggie Beaver-Jones with a wonderful turn. And she made the right decision there, playing it to Carpenter, who unfortunately put it down the throat of the goalkeeper.
That's when Chelsea looks so dangerous, when they have willing runners, when they keep the ball moving forward, and when they change, you know, just simple possession into attack straight away. But like you say, that turn by Aggie Beaver-Jones, you know, Burrell gets so tight too early, doesn't bring her down. But again, look, the willing runners from Captain, Ellie Carpenter, and then it's just about decision-making and composure from Aggie Beaver-Jones. But again, Leipzig will be happy with that. A really simple routine save for her. She'll be happy from them shooting from that distance.
Carpenter wins it back. Inside from Captain. Oh, there's a slip at the back. Almost an opportunity for Macario. Heart-in-mouth moment for the Leicester City back line. Oh, that's a wonderful turn. Kane has support on the left-hand side. Eriksdottir plays it back through to Kane. Into the penalty area, goes down. No complaints from Leicester City's players. Chelsea just making the numbers count at the back.
Yeah, that's right. Hannah Kane, again, like Aggie Beaver does for Chelsea, Hannah Kane has that ability for Leicester. You know, to suddenly change the pace of the attack, the intensity, to drive forward, to connect, bring other players into the attack. You know, she's a real live wire and someone that Leicester will need. They're going to score a goal against Chelsea.
Well, Aggie Beaver-Jones collides with her marker. The referee says play on. She's into the penalty area. Aggie Beaver-Jones, brilliant recovery work, though, over on the far side by Thibault. On a yellow card in the penalty area. She had to get that tackle right, and she did. Eriksdottir, not the best of passes into Tierney, who's able to guide it back towards a teammate. Now Kane. Not bad first touch, but the pass was nowhere near a teammate. Walsh. Out wide now with Carpenter. Captain tries to float it out to Sandy Baltimore, who we've not seen too much in possession so far. Cuthbert might open here for the Scots. She gets it striking, and it's saved brilliantly by Leipzig. Palms it away, out for a throw-in right by the corner flag, but it just opened up there for Erin Cuthbert, and why not?
Yeah, I think she stuttered a little Erin Cuthbert. You know, could she have hit it on that third? She makes the decision. Could she have hit it now? And then she had another touch to settle her, which gives the Burrell chance to come out and, you know, make it harder at a different, more acute angle. And like I say, Leipzig, she's so comfortable. She's a really good shot stopper from that distance. You know, you would certainly favour her.
Here's Kira Walsh. As Chelsea support gets louder inside Kings Meadow. Baltimore. Can't find Macario. Now Kane. All on her own in pink. Fancies it against Berman, though. Support arriving now for the Leicester City forward.
I'm quite surprised how easy, you know, Chelsea are giving the ball away. Normally they're so tight on the ball, good control, you know, not many unforced errors, but I feel there've been quite a few already in the opening 19 minutes.
Here's Thibault, not a back cross from the centre-back, and the Chelsea back line, I don't think they expected the Leicester defender to get that far up the pitch and into the penalty area. Here's Tierney. Sends it long diagonally, but it's over the head of Baltimore and behind for a goal kick. But that's what you want your outside defenders to do, don't you? To progress into the opposition half.
Especially when they have that quality, you know, not only was it a ball into the box, it was with purpose, with feel, you know, really asked a lot of questions of Millie Bright. How are you going to defend that? You know, taking a lot of concentration. On another day, you know, that finds your teammate.
Well, 20 minutes on the clock. And as we expected pre-match, it's Chelsea who've had more of the ball, but his side looked impressive at times. Just not really made too many opportunities in front of goal. Chelsea looking for more. Ellie Carpenter up against this Mita Ale, gets away from the Leicester fullback with ease. Carpenter, Cuthbert, wicked cross to the back post and flicked away. It actually hit the hand of Baltimore. In fact, the flag is up for an offside against the Chelsea winger. But that cross in towards the back post from Erin Cuthbert had plenty of whip on it.
Yeah, good support play from Erin Cuthbert, just behind Ellie Carpenter. You know, that's what we're used to seeing Chelsea being so fast, direct, taking the space, because there is so much space on the wide areas. And with Baltimore and Carpenter, they can make up the ground so quickly.
It's a cheap giveaway by Ale. Not her finest ball forward from the former Tottenham fullback. Here's Millie Bright into Macario. Holds off a marker. Cuthbert will leave it for Carpenter. And here's the Scot again. Captain in behind, looking for the run of Carpenter. There was a touch off a Leicester defender. And it'll go behind for a Chelsea corner kick. They're starting to get into their groove now at the Chelsea midfield.
Yeah, you can feel the intensity, the ball speed's gone up a little bit. And again, a really good run by Ellie Carpenter, timed well. And Ale just gets a touch on it, unfortunately, for Leicester to concede a corner. You know, it's clearly had too much pace on, was going out for a goal kick if she would have left it. But yeah, you can just feel the intensity, the pace at which Chelsea are running and moving the ball go up.
Corner comes into the middle and it's headed up and away. Brilliant defensive header. I think it was Ale who got a head onto it. We will have a stoppage for coming together in the penalty area. And Celeste Burrell is the player who's down for Leicester City, holding the top of her ankle. I'm not sure if this was a roll or a kick in amongst the corner kick chaos.
She's in the middle of that melee, gets sandwiched, and again, like you say, whether it's a stamp or a... Certainly wasn't intentional. I think just so many players coming together, but nonetheless they hurt.
It seems to be okay, but an opportunity here for the Leicester City boss, Rick Passmore, to get his message across. And what do you think he'll be relaying to his players at this moment?
Again, I think he'll be tweaking things. Certainly, they look really good on the press, from that dead ball press, you know, on that top area. You're not really aggressive. They know what they're doing. But I think when they win the ball back, I think he'll be saying keep it for that extra pass, be a little bit more composed rather than giving it back to Chelsea.
So plenty of desire. Rick Passmore's players this afternoon. He's only the interim boss, remember. He's being placed until the new coach is found. Leicester City look like they're temporarily going to have to play with a man less. They'll be familiar with that after last weekend's performance. Drop ball. Macario puts it through the legs of the Leicester City midfielder. Here's Thibault into Alex Dottia. Can't trap it. It's up instead by Walsh. Bright. Now Viola Berman. That's a good pass. Macario takes too long. Try something fancy and something a bit more simplistic might have been the option. Here's Tierney.
She's certainly finding some good positions there, Macario, isn't she? You know, I think they have the quality from the back to front to find her, either by Cuthbert, Walsh or Berman on that occasion. And then, like you say, it's about the technical ability of Macario to turn that into, you know, possession rather than something too fancy. But certainly those high positions, she's finding herself into great spaces.
She is now. She goes back towards her defence. It's Bright. Into Cuthbert, who wanted a bit of time, and she didn't have that time. Just immediately closed down by Olivia McLaughlin. You described to me pre-match as a tough tackling midfielder.
Yeah,
as an example.
Yeah, she was one of the late moves to Leicester in the transfer window, I think on the last day from Rangers to Leicester, and I think the first game she did really well, then second game against Leicester was player of the match, so she certainly adds a tenacious attitude, aggressiveness in the centre, in the heart of midfield that Leicester need, and really drives this team on to win back the ball, enjoy winning back the ball in those moments, because they're important in this league.
And only 20 years of age as well. Bright future ahead of us. Signed up for a 4-year contract. The club certainly believe in her. 25 minutes played. Chelsea 1, Leicester City 0. Maggie Beaver-Jones with the early goal. Smashed in from around 6 yards out after some intricate play and a fortunate deflection into her path, but you've got to take the opportunities that are presented to you. Here she is now. Great turn of pace to get there ahead of Janice Cayman, but I thought that Cayman had won the throw-in, but it goes the Chelsea way. Baltimore goes backwards to Berman, and now Bright. Walsh goes down by Kane. Macario finds Walsh, fortunately. Finds her nonetheless. Bjorn goes down the right-hand side to Carpenter. Great turn of pace from the fullback. Inside it goes to Cuthbert. But it's not Cuthbert who's there. It's Captain, who was on the edge of the 6-yard box, but just couldn't wiggle any room away from the pink-shirted markers. Captain gets it back from Carpenter, and will have the throw and go their way.
They're certainly linking up well. Captain, Carpenter and Cuthbert down this right-hand side, really starting to threaten Leicester a lot more.
There's Carpenter. Natalie Bjorn advanced into the Leicester City half as she forces the ball this time, but no way was Vika Captain going to get onto the end of that. Here's Leitzig. You can't do that there, as Macario closes down McLaughlin, and she did have her shirt pulled in fairness, but you just don't simply get a moment in possession when you play here at Kings Meadow.
No, that's right. I think you have to expect that pressure, don't you? It's okay receiving the ball there, but you have to expect, you have to already done your checks looking from where the player is. But again, good confident sides from Leicester, not always mixing up the play, not always keeping it, not always going long, just keeping Chelsea guessing.
After flirting with relegation over the last few years, when you come into a new season, do you just forget about the previous season and have like a new air of confidence, would you say?
Well, I think winning helps. Those 3 points last week would have been massive, and especially everything they went through, players sending off to get those 3 points.
They've got some defending to do here. Beaver-Jones picks up the loose ball and had nobody in support, so will happily just keep possession.
But yeah, I don't think you forget everything that happened last year. I think you use them as lessons learned. You need to take the lessons on board, learn from them, put them into practice on the training pitch in games, and then move forward.
They did finish a long way ahead of Crystal Palace, 10 points clear, so they weren't really in too much trouble come the end of the season, but the league table doesn't look too pretty when you're one of the bottom 3 clubs. Approaching the half-an-hour mark, and it's the WSL title holders, Chelsea, who lead 1-0 in front of their home support. Here's Natalie Bjorn, finds a gap and finds Ellie Carpenter. 2 blue shirts in the middle. Beaver-Jones was the target. Maybe Macario would have been the clearer option. But again, Carpenter down that right-hand side into the penalty area. She's a real threat.
Yeah. And I think they're starting to recognise those spaces are there. Although the centre-backs are central, there's still spaces out wide for the willing runners.
Macario back to Captain, stands on the ball. And that allows McLaughlin to step in and win it back. But that's not very smart at all by Van Egmond, who loses it to Cuthbert! Brilliant save. Janina Leitzig with a huge outstretched right arm and a big palm to keep the score at 1-0 to Chelsea, and that just looked like it was going to float over the top of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it definitely did. But what a save that was. Made it look easy, didn't she? But again, it's just from Leicester's turning over the ball, little poor decision. Emily Van Egmond not protecting the ball as well as she should. You know, rather than great play from Chelsea, it's just capitalising on those moments, what Chelsea do really well. Recognise you're in trouble and then pounce and get their shot off.
It's a ball over the top here. That's a good touch by Kane. She's into the penalty area. Holds it up well. Riksdottir back to Kane. Trying to find some space. Kane on her left foot. Strikes Walsh. Goes behind for Leicester City corner. Very determined play there, shown by Hannah Kane.
Really good individual play, isn't it? Like you say, with good determination. Emily Van Egmond here getting caught. She tries to rectify that, but for a first-time hit from Cuthbert, it was a really good effort. And Leipzig, she saw it all the way. And again, but to claw it down, then what's most impressive is not to stay on the floor, to get up again, get that second rebound, because whoever's following in. But she made it look extremely comfortable.
Could be a crucial save in the outcome of this game, with the score still at 1-0. Leicester City with an opportunity to test the defensive capabilities of the home side. The corner doesn't beat Millie Bright to the front post. Disappointing after all that build-up. Ale. Out to the left-hand side. Deep, deep cross by Thibault, and Chelsea can come away with possession. Beaver-Jones. Thibault tracks back into a defensive position, but again, Aggie Beaver-Jones not forcing it, keeping possession and doing the sensible thing. That's an excellent pass, but the touch doesn't match the pass from Baltimore.
Yeah, going back to Aggie Beaver-Jones, it's really good game understanding, isn't it? Not every time you receive the ball as a forward can you go, as much as you want to, not every time can you go forward on your own and score a goal. It's about sometimes understanding the game, what it needs. Do you need to relax, just keep the ball and bring your teammates up the pitch, especially when Chelsea have just been under immense pressure.
And go off Baltimore and out for another Leicester City throw-in. Sandy Baltimore into a second season here at Kings Meadow after joining from Paris Saint-Germain in the summer of 2024. She said she wanted to play intense football and knew that she would get it at England, in English football, I should say.
She certainly had a fantastic season last year. She really, and what's been so impressive about her is how versatile she is as well. You know, she operated at left back, she can play left wing back as a left wide player. You know, the assists and goals that she got was so important for Chelsea last year.
The French international looking to impress on the left-hand side once again. For Chelsea, she's not going to get anywhere near that though, as it bounces all the way through to Janina Leipzig. Here's Ali. Into Riksdottir, just surrounded by that trio in midfield. That's a strong tackle by Van Egmond. Well, it's been combative in the midfield this afternoon, but that tackle was just over the line, I'd say.
Yeah,
Cuthbert holding the ankle.
Timing, wasn't it? It was late.
Yo-yo! Yo-yo!
And again, another moment where Leicester really need to keep tighter control on the ball, tighter passes to really get out of those tight situations.
Oof, it's very late, flying into that Emily Van Egmond. Well, you saw Erin Cuthbert have to pull her sock up because it got taken down. So much was the ferocity of the challenge by Emily Van Egmond. Scored that header in the win last weekend against Liverpool. The Australian showing her combative energies. Second in the book this afternoon for Leicester City.
It's another good signing for Leicester from Birmingham, getting her over the line because she's played all over the world, you know, in different leagues. She's got a vast amount of Australian caps on the international stage. So for a young group of players, she will add such an older, calmer head, calmer presence, and the much needed experience and communication that's needed to guide the players.
Riksdottir was pulled to the ground by Aaron Cuthbert, so Leicester will have an opportunity to attack via a set piece as you see Celeste Burrell make her way forward to the back post. As the flags are being waved enthusiastically by the home support here at Kings Meadow. Anna Kane, the Leicester City forward, is the player who stands over the ball. 7 pink shirts in the middle to aim for. Goes to the back post. Knocked away by Bright. That clearance was so hard it echoed around the stadium. LA will recycle possession. Attacked at the back post by Carpenter. Kane will get it back though and loft it back in. Bright's there with the header once more. Van Egmond. Onto the right-hand side it goes. And now Cuthbert, and there is space in the midfield for Chelsea to exploit, but not with passes like that. There's Mita Ale in the way, and the foul has gone against Chelsea here, and that's confused players and supporters alike, especially now a yellow card's been raised. Well, we saw a strange yellow card in the Merseyside derby yesterday, and could file that under the same kind of bracket. Evan Cuthbert in the book.
Yeah,
let's have a look from this angle.
I think it's for the kick out after, isn't it? I think Heather Payne obviously does a shoulder barge, you know, barges to the floor. You know, maybe the retaliation that the referee saw with the kick out.
Only Cuthbert will know. Carpenter and Bright working hard to win possession back as the referee blows for a foul against Celeste Burrell. Let's have a look at this once again. I mean, she's knocked to the ground, and to me it looks entirely accidental.
Yeah,
I don't know about you.
Just that second one, how higher-legged, but yeah, like you say, the momentum of the fall. But you could argue that, you know, maybe the first initial block, the shoulder barge, was over-aggressive. But, hey,
3 yellow cards in this first half where it hasn't particularly felt aggressive in any kind of way. McLaughlin with a header up into the air. Eva Jones beaten to it. Thibault plays it forward. Now Ruxted here. Shrugs off Cuthbert. Thibault, one of those 3 players on a booking. Oh, and that's a strong tackle from Millie Bright, and she has a quick look at the referee and runs away back to her defensive position.
Yeah, I think that could have easily been a yellow card. You know, when you come through the back of midfielders like that. But these are the areas that Leicester need to be better at. I think they've had some good territory, good set-piece, you know, moments, but the quality and the connection, they really need to concentrate if they are going to get a goal back.
They've not made anything clear-cut from any of these opportunities yet. You can see the thought process in the making. Kane stands over it. They've had a couple of free kicks from this position. Floats it into the back post once again. Chelsea win the first header and the second ball as well. And we'll get a free kick for offside. Leicester City, again, not making anything happen from a set-piece situation.
Yeah, it's a couple of times they've been offside as well, which is, you know, really in your control as a player. You can time your run, you know where the back line is.
6 minutes to go in this first half. Chelsea 1, Leicester City 0. Side that finished top of the WSL against the side that finished 10th last season, but there's not been a gulf between the two sides as Carpenter is dispossessed. McLaughlin into Tierney. Powerful switch of play out to the left-hand side. Good knockdown by Ale into the path of Thibault, who does continue to move into that midfield position when Leicester City are in control of the ball. Here's Cayman. Celeste Burrell across to Thibault. Aaron Cuthbert on the toes of him, Eric Statia. She'll win the free kick as well, will the Scotland midfielder. Well, Eric Statia, she's popping up between that defence and midfield quite a bit, isn't she? But she's not getting any space at all to do what she wants.
No, that's right, and she's causing a lot of problems. But again, she's so far away from goal that then it's hard to maybe get a shot off or, you know, really make something count. She's having to work so hard out of possession.
She started the opening day defeat to Manchester United, but was brought in to start against Liverpool and played well enough in that game to retain her place this afternoon. Tough starting run of fixtures for Leicester City, isn't it? Manchester United, Liverpool and Chelsea, as Leicester City look for something creative from range. Got to applaud the effort, but not executed as Van Egmond would have wished.
I think she was just mixing it up. You know, they haven't had a shot, a long-range shot in a while. You know, instead of keeping the ball and doing something what they've already done before, just trying to make sure Hannah Hampton is switched on and concentrating. But again, I think Leicester and Leipzig especially, we've seen her made some good saves, but they've all been from long distance. You know, she'll be happy with that. She'll be happy with her contribution, but, you know, it's not as if Chelsea have been inundated and really testing her on a regular occurrence.
The only effort I can think of Hannah Hampton being called into duty is the one which she was able to control with her right foot. It was such a soft shot. Cario is going to sneak in behind there as Leipzig comes off our line to take control of the situation, but Leicester City's defence working out instead. There's Van Egmond, look how tight it is. Those Chelsea shirts swarming. There's Mita Ale. Now Walsh. And Leicester City got something in the locker before half-time. Bright, strong play. Walsh to Carpenter. Being forced backwards, not many options in the middle. Here's Walsh. And Bright round the corner and out for a throw-in.
You can see how often Chelsea want to play Ellie Carpenter in, don't they? Whether the space is there or not, she's such a threat.
Well, this is the creative thinking from Emily Van Egmond. Hampton was pretty much on a line. So the funny side of the effort from the big midfielder.
Yeah. It's a good spot from Van Egmond. Sometimes when the ball turns over so quickly, you know, that's the perfect time to take a shot.
Been one of her easier afternoons so far for Hannah Hampton, but Leicester City is still in this game. Not out of it yet as Kane chases that one. Too much force on the pass, though.
I think Sonia Bompasta will certainly be demanding and expecting better quality in possession, you know, from her Chelsea players, you know, with the calibre of players they have, to really move this Leicester team from side to side, keep switching the ball, you know, really use the speed, the ball speed that they can play at, you know, really needs to go up a few extra levels to move the players, then they can get it towards them forward players.
Oh, Sonia Bompastor has been talking about what went right last season, but she still believes they can go up another gear. Reminder that they only dropped 2 points at home in the entirety of last season. Not much room for improvement, but there's still room for improvement. Here's Tierney. Over back heel into Kane's path. Tierney. Cuthbert acting as a shadow. Sees a running behind of Eric Statia, but again, Leicester City's pass forward has too much meat on it and goes out for a goal kick. Seconds left in this first half. Here's Walsh. The one goes forward to Carpenter, bounces up, but keeps it nonetheless. Natalie Bjorn goes long for Beaver Jones. Now Macario, a chance here for the American. Macario, good strike. Plenty of power in it, but straight into the hands of Janina Leipzig, who will take them all day. But the link-up play there with Beaver Jones and Macario, a wonderful sight to see.
Yeah, really good play, playing off each other, reading what each other are going to do, making things happen. And again, I thought Macario was going to go for the return with Aggie Beaver, maybe in a better position.
Forward pass by Walsh. Bright forces it forward. It will spin out to Carpenter. A couple of minutes of injury time added on. It's good, but wide to Viola Berman. Now Baltimore puts her foot down. Baltimore has her shirt pulled but continues to run forward. Keeps it in play for winning a corner. Brilliant determined wing play by Sandy Baltimore down the Chelsea left-hand side.
Yes, she's certainly had a quiet game so far, but when she does get on the ball and go 1v1, she's certainly very exciting and tough to beat. It took 2 Leicester players then to put that out.
An opportunity to grab another just before half-time. Now would be the perfect time to find a second. Wrinkled, but right under the nose of Janina Leipzig, with no one in pink marking her. See how it plays out. It's floated into the near post, away by McLaughlin. Baltimore with a strike, it'll deflect off McLaughlin and behind for another Chelsea corner. There is time for it.
Yeah, good position and strike by Baltimore, and Liv McLaughlin, you know, you just have to throw your body out. You don't really know where you are in the goal and what surrounding players are, so you just got to get any contact on it.
She did enough on that occasion. I think this corner kick will be the last action of the first half. Chelsea looking for a second. Something off the training ground. An encouragement from a shot. Oh, what a save that is. Janina Leipzig flying towards her top corner. She's had an excellent first half, and the best save of the first 45 was definitely that last one.
Oh, it's exceptional. Again, like you say, good work, routine, but the amount of pace that had on it from Kira Walsh. But again, we've seen Leipzig make, you know, numerous saves like that throughout the season. Oh, you know, and really add another creative spark that maybe they didn't have or lacked in the first half. But yeah, it's a exciting bench to certainly pick from, but she's certainly not afraid of making those decisions early on.
Plenty of options on the bench. Sam Kerr available once again. She came off the bench to score at Villa Park last weekend. So many injury issues over recent months. Great to see her back playing regularly for Chelsea, but they're doing all right without her as they head towards 3 wins from 3 in the WSL. They do tend to fill up that W column in the league table pretty significantly.
It looks like Kamano's fitted in Macario's position in that number 10 role, you know, and Alyssa Thompson on for Baltimore down that left-hand side.
Here's pain, though, for Leicester City. It's a wicket cross into the box. Bright stoops to nod it away. And Leicester get themselves in a sticky situation, but pulled back was Cayman, and a bit of a let-off there for Leicester City. Just a communication issue in the midfield, the reason for them losing possession there.
Yeah, I'm sure Rick Passmore would have spoke to his team about that, the transition moments when you're in attack and then you lose the ball, how quickly Chelsea look to attack you, and the strategies to stifle that.
It's the referee, Mel Bergen, showed 3 yellow cards in that first half. Wasn't too many fouls, wasn't any particular bite, but 3 names in the book to keep an eye on in the second half. It's a deep free kick sent long once again. Chelsea head is the first to it. Forward it goes, and Hampton's off her line there. Sneaking in behind was Emily van Egmond, and that was half an opportunity for Leicester City. I think the flag went up on this near side, but either way, Hampton not quite as convincing as you'd like in that situation.
Well, I don't think either Bright or Hampton saw Emily Van Egmond come in, the angle that she approached. You know, she's just there on the back shoulder. It's tight. She is just offside, isn't she? No one's picking her up. Kira Walsh maybe had lost track of her, but it's a great run just to, you know, keep them on their toes and add a little warning sign.
Something to think about for Hannah Hampton, who's had a lovely afternoon out at Kingsmeadow so far with nothing to save. Bright with a shove in the back of Flynn Ruxtott here. A round of applause here at Kingsmeadow in memory of Matt Beard, the former Chelsea manager. Tragically passed away yesterday, 47 years of age, remembered with 47 minutes on the clock here at Kingsmeadow. As Leicester City come forward. Again, it's a Chelsea head that gets the first ball. Berman's the tallest. Thompson unable to win the 50-50. Neither is Beaver Jones. Leicester City looking promising here. Heather Payne. Janice Kamen. Clever footwork from Ruxtott here, but forced to go backwards. Van Egmond didn't have the confidence to take a touch and turn with the ball played into her feet in the midfield third. Here is Van Egmond. Support down the left-hand side. Good running from Thibault. Pass, unfortunately, doesn't match the determination.
Yeah, it's perhaps needing that extra patch, isn't it? Pass, try and switch the pitch, move it across to really make these Chelsea players work.
They have had less of the ball of Leicester City. Sonia Bomperstore's side in control of possession, but not in control of this match just yet. They have conceded in both their WSL games this season, let's not forget that. As a long direct ball is sent forward for Vika Kaptein.
Well, and Chelsea will always pose that threat with the distribution, the quality distribution that Hannah Hampton has, you know, left and right foot. If they've got a willing runner, she can certainly find them in behind. So again, just keeping Leicester on their toes, mixing up their play, you know, and always know that that long ball's a threat to Chelsea.
Chelsea pressing really high. Leipzig on a goal line, basically. Amano comes across to close down Kamen. Payne keeps it in play, just Tierney. That's gone up for a Chelsea throw-in. In fact, it's gone the Leicester City way. I think we might have had a better view than the referee on that occasion. Cuthbert. Amano, clever back heel. Cuthbert wins a Leicester City throw-in. Thompson with the long throw backwards. And there's a sub once again. Alyssa Thompson, after making her Chelsea debut last week as a sub. United States international, already with 22 appearances for her country. At the age of 20, you feel like she could be one of those who reaches the 100 club. Here she is now, down the left-hand side. Payne comes across and flies into Thompson. Welcome to the WSL, Alyssa.
That had to be perfectly timed, but all credit to Payne. She did. She timed it really well. Because that's when it could have been a dangerous one. You know, she's had a tough afternoon against Baltimore, and then another, like you say, exciting talent comes on in Thompson.
Here she is now, space on the left. Beaver Jones has her head up in the middle, gets the volley in left-footed, but catches it off the top of her boot, and it easily loops into the hands for Leipzig to catch. Thompson showing a dangerous pace down the left-hand side. Chelsea not allowing Leicester City out. Interesting fact about Alyssa Thompson is she used to represent her school in the 100 metres and won the state championships, sprinting 100 metres at 11.6 seconds.
It's pretty quick.
Fullbacks in the WSL, watch out. Here's Asmita Aile. Not sure about 100-metre speed. 7 minutes played in this second half. Still Chelsea 1, Leicester City 0, and it's kind of matched the same sort of tempo and rhythm of the first half so far. Here's Payne, closed down by Thompson. Forces a mistake. Hamano, Cayman battling for possession. Right to Carpenter, who was waiting for the arrival of Ale and used their strength to hold her off. It was then fouled by a rather confused Lynn Irokstatia.
Yeah, Lee Carpenter used her body well to shield the ball. Instead of moving it quickly, shield the ball, but again, she was closed down really well by the Leicester players. They haven't lost any tenacity or aggressiveness in this second half, keeping up that, because that's one thing when you do spend a lot of time without the ball, that's one thing, you know, you're looking for players. Do they tire? You know, are they just a second off the press? You know, to try and make more mistakes as the tiredness and fatigue creeps in. But so far, they've kept the intensity up.
Ball down the right-hand side will just bobble out of play before Ellie Carpenter can get there. Well, we'll take a look at the numbers. Chelsea very much on top in terms of shots, but it's felt a lot closer than the statistics might suggest. Especially the on-target statistics. Eric Statia. It's a loose pass in the middle. Thompson into Beaver-Jones, back to Thompson, beaten to it by Payne. Still alive for Hamano, crosses it in, away on the penalty spot by Payne. Puts her foot through it to clear it away, but Chelsea with a bit more intricacy around the edge of the Leicester City penalty area. Hamano. Again, taken by Carpenter. A hurried throw-in. Able to get out of that corner at the moment of the home side. Leicester City win it back. Arikstad here. Forward to Kane. Flicks it round the corner, almost into the path of Van Egmond. She has it now. Too slow, though. Kira Walsh gliding through the midfield. She has support out wide. Finds it now. There's two in the middle. Beaver-Jones is at the near post. Dealt with sensibly by Celeste Burrell. Cuthbert, Walsh. I'll take a deflection and we'll go out for a throw in just a few yards away from the corner flag, but Chelsea turning the screw here at Kings Meadow. Yeah,
it certainly feels like that, doesn't it? You know, Leicester need to find a way to stop these waves and waves of attack come in.
Beaver-Jones, that's clever to flick it over the head of Thibault. Cross spot at the near post, though. Leicester City completely penned into their own penalty area almost by this treble win in Chelsea side. Berman, Thompson looking to sprint away down this left-hand side, away from Payne. It's a deep cross to the back post. There's the header! And saved by Leipzig. Well, it was Cuthbert who rose highest, and Leipzig had to hurriedly get across to that far post to make it look like a simple catch in the end.
This is what Chelsea are doing better in the second half, getting it wide so to isolate the wing back, and then look at that for the quality of ball into that back post. And Erin Cuthbert knows she can make her run and really come and attack it from that blind side.
And she's down on the floor now. That was a real 50-50 in the midfield, and Cuthbert has come off worse. I don't think there was any malice shown by either player going in for that tackle. But Cuthbert, the one who's going to need medical attention. Does give an opportunity for management to get their words across. This isn't the sight that you want to see. She points towards her lower back.
And I'd say a welcome break for Leicester. You know, again, certainly to have a breather, regroup, communicate, you know, and certainly like what I was saying earlier, to find a way to stop this wave and wave of attack. How are they going to hold the ball up higher when they win it? You know, really gain some territory, because it just feels as the game keeps on and on, they're getting pinned back even more.
We'll have a look at the incident, and neither Cuthbert nor Tierney pulled out of it. Both had eyes for the ball, which is the defence of both players, I suppose. But what will Rick Passmore be telling his players, saying to his players at this point, do you think?
Yeah, I think mentality-wise, you know, nothing changes in terms of how disciplined they need to be, how hard they need to work to stick together to really reduce the spaces. But then it's about in possession, you know, can they really try and have those cute combos like they did in the first half, but really maybe a willing runner to get behind and maybe get a shot off at Hannah Hampton. And again, those set pieces that maybe they had a lot of in the first half, you know, gain some territory, get some set pieces, and maybe concentrate on the quality of delivery. But
that break has come at a good time for them, like you said, as they now have possession back, and Chelsea's front line has been pushed back a further 30 yards towards the halfway line. It's a direct ball forward into the Leicester City front line, but it simply bounces off Kane and comes straight back to Chelsea. Might be some space now, though. Van Egmond has support on the left-hand side from Thibaut, the centre-back here. You hear the shouts of the pass, but Thibaut keeps it, finds the cross into the near post, and Millie Bright is there to put all her might into that and send that one all the way to East London.
Yeah, really good, strong, powerful running by Thibaut. I think in the end she was trying to get a corner for her team. It doesn't quite pay off. But it'd be interesting to see whether Leicester make any changes. They have Mouchon on the bench, which was a centre-forward, a really exciting centre-forward who was missing a lot last season through injury. You know, we don't know how fit she is, but, you know, certainly she'd give this team an uplift to bring her on and maybe running behind and run these Chelsea defenders.
That's clever link-up play, and a chance for a shot at goal. Well, it was good interplay on the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. Unfortunately, the strike was wayward, to say the least, by Julie Thibaut, but she seems rather keen to get forward and join the attack as the big defender.
Yeah, she has that quality, you know, she's so confident on the ball, she believes in her ability, and she's good, she can cut the ball, and she's got a fierce strike.
Certainly showed the ferocity of her strike there, unfortunately not the accuracy. Well, we're at the hour mark, and Chelsea generally are having it all their way at the moment. How long do you give it if you're Rick Passmore?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? You know, because while it is, well, there's the magic formula written down there. But it's tough, you know, while it is tight, while the players on the pitch are doing their job and it is still contained, and, you know, you want to keep it like that. But again, like you say, at what point do the players really start to see a deficit, a drop in fatigue levels and concentration, and you need to freshen it up with some subs?
Well, we will see if the notes that were scribbled there by the interim Leicester City manager said sub off, sub on. Whose names will be next to those points? It's a good hold-up play down the right-hand side. And Janice Cayman. Really Bright unable to trap that. Kane, quick throw-in. Eric Statia. Great strength shown though by Bright, just to usher aside the Leicester City forward. No complaints, just simply out-muscled by Millie Bright.
Yeah, it's top defending, isn't it? You know, she just uses her strength to lean. It's not a foul, but you lean enough into the centre-forward that miscontrols the ball. You know, it looks easy, but certainly to execute that without giving a foul away is tough.
Made the PFA Team of the Year last year, did Millie Bright, and I'd say she's in pretty good standing to make it again this year as Chelsea continue to pick up these results. It's not done here, though. Just under half an hour to go. Chelsea 1, Leicester City 0. Maggie Beaver-Jones with the early goal in the first half. Here's Bjorn, very confidently done by the defender. Cuthbert was the out ball, but that was cut off quickly by Leicester City. Cayman on for Ale, beaten in the air by Carpenter, but the offside flag was up either way. And Chelsea will get a free kick. Here's Bright. To Natalie Bjorn. Three very confident defenders for Chelsea. The forwards look full of it too. Celeste Burrell diving in. Vicky Captain has to pick herself up. Seems to have taken a knock, but it's one of them she'll have to run off, I think.
Yeah, she receives the ball so cleanly, and she's dangerous when she's driving at the heart of your defence and looking round to pick the pass. Like I say, Burrell just gets the timing all wrong.
A big signing for Leicester City, the big American defender. Didn't judge that one correctly, though. Cuthbert stands over this free kick for Chelsea. Lots of big blue targets in the middle. Defenders that have turned into attackers temporarily, and it goes. Nodded away on the penalty spot. Counters on, though. It's McLaughlin who's holding the hand of Kira Walsh, who has a quick word for Olivia McLaughlin. She's told to calm down a little bit by the referee, Mel Bergen. Thompson will chase that down the left-hand side. Not giving it up, but a little bit too heavy for the flying winger.
I think that's one thing Chelsea will be a little bit disappointed. The balls from back to front. We've seen it, you know, it's been quite a trend, hasn't it, throughout the game, how easily they've either gone out of play or gone through for a goal kick. You know, they have the speed, they have the threats, but it's just that quality of ball, drop it into the space to give them something to run onto. You know, for a team of champions, you know, I think they'll be disappointed by that standards for the balls just to, you know, travel out of play so easily and so often.
She talked pre-match, didn't she, Sonia Bompastor, about bringing players in and using a whole squad. And I suppose if you're rotating regularly, you're not going to have your best 11 out all the time. They look pretty good here. Good turn of pace by Kane. She's looked electric this afternoon for Leicester City. Van Egmond will chase that one, but Viola Berman is there. And I have to say that Chelsea trio of Natalie Bjorn, Millie Brighton, Viola Berman, they've looked so in control this afternoon.
Yeah, they have. Whatever they've had to do, you know, they've done it with class and ease, you know, and really switched on, especially the defending part.
Berman gets away with it slightly there, played her part in the build-up to the opening goal. There's Carpenter. Natalie Bjorn into Kira Walsh. Leicester City's midfield looking more tired than they did at the beginning of the second half. Bright into Kira Walsh. It's the feet of Captain, dispossessed. Thibault was there on her toes. Tierney on a corner of Thompson and into the path of Heather Payne. Flying fullback versus flying fullback. Heather Payne grounded on this occasion. Kane. Thibault looks up and doesn't see much movement in the middle. And eventually gives it away. I'm not sure if Van Egmond wanted that, but she has it now. Chelsea asking for the ball to go out, but under no obligation to do so. Leicester City as they come forward here. It's Ale in the penalty area. Bright flies in to make the tackle. Ale will keep it in play. Still alive for Leicester City. That's clever footwork. And the shot comes in, and Hannah Hampton is forced into a save. Lynn Eiruksdottir with the effort. She didn't catch it cleanly, but it's something for Hannah Hampton to get her gloves dirty over.
A really good spell from Leicester, wasn't it? How tenacious they are. This cutting of the ball and getting the shot off was excellent play. You know, not very often do Chelsea give you moments like that, and you need to make the best of it. But really positive signs for Leicester in that last passage. How aggressive they were to win back the ball. You know, in Cayman, turning the ball over, and then what they do with it. Probably the best moment of the second half we've seen from them.
still carry a threat to Leicester City. And I tell you what, they were so close to a touch from Natalie Bjorn in front of Hannah Hampton there, and that could have sent it over her shoulder or down to her right-hand side. As it was, a rather straightforward save for the England goalkeeper. There's Van Egmond. Switch the play to Payne. Look at the pace in which Thompson closes down the Leicester City fullback. Here is the former Everton defender. Eric Statia. Really Bright steps up out of defence before running back into her position. Thibault. Spin all the way through and into the feet of Hannah Hampton. Just over 20 minutes to go. Chelsea 1, Leicester 0. It looks as if Chelsea are readying their third change of this game. Something our Leicester City backline to think about when Sam Kerr's coming on. And listen to the cheers for Sam Kerr. She's been out for so long with injury, Sam Kerr. She returned last week to play against Aston Villa, grabbed a goal in injury time as well to secure the win. And here she is, back at Kingsmeadow. And if you thought Chelsea were dangerous without her on the pitch, imagine what they're like with her on the pitch.
Yeah, it was so pleasing for Sam Kerr, wasn't it? The perfect fairy tale last week at Aston Villa to come on and get, I think she was on the pitch 9 minutes or something before she scored, and, you know, I think a welcome return, but to receive that welcoming and reception from Kingsmeadow, her own fans, must be a great feeling for her.
Got forced into a slide tackle. And it was her 100th goal for Chelsea as well, Sam Kerr. Oh, that's good from Aggie Beaver-Jones. Away from Tierney. Away from Cayman. Aggie Beaver-Jones tries to slide it through for Sam Kerr. Looking to score with her first touch since coming on as a substitute. Leicester City just tightened up at the final moment there. Berman across to prevent Kane's progression.
Yeah, really nice attack, wasn't it, from Aggie Beaver? Quite a solo effort, and then as she was gaining pace, she was trying to make the right decision, right through ball. And like you say, Leicester City defended it exceptionally well. Get tight, get narrow, defend the centre of the goal. And just pick off the pass in the end.
Just swarming the Chelsea forward. Kerr was waiting for the release, didn't get it. Hannah Hampton has been talking about her in the press. Called her an absolute demon in training. I suppose having one of the best forwards in the WSL in training every day makes you one of the best goalkeepers in the WSL. And the standard is so high at both ends. Oh, that's a clever flick. Ale Van Egmond tries to return with her own. Smart flick around the corner, too heavy though, Hampton's ball. Amano into Kerr. And here's Ellie Carpenter, goes back to Natalie Bjorn, onto Millie Bright.
Leicester do look dangerous down that left-hand side, like you say, with Thibault. You know, she's aggressive, wins the ball, and then she has that creative spark and the quality on the ball to open up Chelsea in moments. You know, those moments come quick, so you have to make the right decision, but they certainly do look dangerous with Van Egmond when she comes to connect.
And they've still got so much energy, and Hannah Kane as well running around up top. And with the score at 1-0, there's still an opportunity for Leicester City to get back into this. Don't write off Rick Passmore's side just yet. Walsh to Berman. Slows it down, back inside for Walsh. Beaver-Jones, too slow. Cayman onto her, the experienced midfielder come defender. Jumping into the Chelsea forward's feet.
Like you say, Hannah Kane's putting such a shift in for her team. I'm sure she would have liked the ball a hell of a lot more service, but sometimes as forwards you have to be selfless. You have to put a big defensive out of possession shifting for your team so that you're able to stay in the game. Like say, it's only 1-0 at 71 minutes.
Well, she's come off in both WSL games so far for Leicester City, has Hannah Kane. And when she runs with such intensity and consistency, it's got to be hard to keep that up for 90+ minutes. Thibaut coming forward, it's fizzed into the feet of Van Egmond. Here's Thibaut. Back with Burrell, closed down by Amano and forced into a mistake. Leicester a player light at the back. Cuthbert looking for Kerr, doesn't get the bobble, and Teeny picks up the loose ball, but that could have spun in any direction. Fortunately for Leicester, it fell kindly for their defence.
Yeah, Kamen reads the centre-back reads the situation really well. She's played up against Kerr many times, and so will be extremely switched on to her movement.
Smartly done by Julie Thibaut to knock it against Maika Hamano. But just getting more minutes in the tank is probably the priority for Sam Kerr at the moment. Oh,
yeah, for sure. You know, being robust week in, week out, building on, you know, what the physicality, what she has, and staying fit and healthy.
Spain's the main thing after hardly playing for a couple of years. Thompson and Beaver Jones unable to make it work down the Chelsea left. They've not had as much of the ball in the second half as they did in the first half, but ultimately the main statistic is the one at the top of your screen. Still 1-0 to Chelsea. I do feel like there's still one opportunity for Leicester City in this game. If they can just find a way to get the ball, send it into the penalty area, and just roll the dice a bit.
Well, and that's what you have to believe as a team that's, you know, maybe spent long periods of the game without the ball. You have to believe that you will get that set piece, that one moment. You know, that's what, to make all your hard work come to fruition.
Yet to make a change, though, Leicester City, although it looks as if they may be soon about to change that. You can hear the shouts of Rick Passmore to come across Hannah. That is Hannah Kane, who has it now. Forward by Kamen. Ale battling, Millie Bright goes up there. Bounces back to her feet after Eric Stotia bounces into her. Chelsea able to play it around the Leicester City press, I should say. Quarter of an hour to go. Chelsea with the lead here, and heading for 3 wins from 3. The treble winners, the WSL title holders, looking confident, but not comfortable. Walsh with a switch, brilliant ball. Not a bad touch either by Thompson. Up against Payne. Closes that road. Cuthbert. Walsh. Thompson takes her eye off it and it spins under a boot, but other than that touch, that was lovely passing from Chelsea. And here you go, first change of the afternoon for Leicester City. Jutta Rantala is the player who's coming on. And as a sub for the 3rd time in the WSL, continuing to appear in every match so far this season as the Finnish forward. Be interesting to see what her role is in the side and if it's different in any kind of way to that of Hannah Kane's.
She missed a lot of pre-season through injury, so she's just building her minutes up and becoming robust. And again, but she does have an eye for goal. You know, very, very good player, good with the ball at her feet, very tricky.
Here come Leicester City now. Ale with a wicked cross in. There's the header by Van Egmond. And I tell you what, that's one of the better opportunities in the second half for Leicester City. Floated in, but she could only glance it off her forehead and behind. And if she got more of a forehead on that, that would have been a much more dangerous opportunity for Leicester City.
I mean, look, they've got 3 plus another one coming into the box with Burrell, 4 players into the box as well. with a good quality cross. You know, we haven't seen that very often. Normally it's the cross without the runners, or the runners are in there and the ball doesn't come. So to get those two together, and like you say, just a glance that, and we saw how dangerous Van Egmond is with her head last week with that quality goal that she scored. You know, so they're the glimpses that you hold on to for Leicester. Just like, can the 2 or 3 bits of quality come off on a chain?
Not on that occasion, but it will give them hope. And maybe wake up Chelsea a bit, as Kerr's played in behind here, but Celeste Burrell had a metre or two advantage on her to begin with. Here's Leipzig. Great ball forward, clever flick on that as well. Difficult for the substitute Rantala to control, but it's given away. Van Egmond will pick it up. Danger on the left-hand side. It's loose in the middle. Rantala headed away by Bjorn. Attacked on the edge of the penalty area. They want a free kick, Leicester City. They're not going to get it. And Chelsea can come away on the counter-attack. Beaver Jones, again, slows it down. Waits for support to arrive. Carpenter. Thompson. Brilliant touch, but he's been stopped here because of a head injury on the edge of the penalty area, and that's why there's boos from the crowd, where you can see Hannah Hampton saying that she's fine. But in these situations, the referee's always got to be cautious.
Yeah, exactly that. She has to make sure, doesn't she? Especially with head injuries.
It looked to me like more of a heavy landing than anything else for Olivia McLaughlin. Oosh, it's a bit saying that her face did slam the floor.
Yeah, I think you'd stay down after that one.
Almost definitely. I think Amano actually got a whack in the chops as well. Just needs a moment to gather her thoughts. But what have you made of Olivia McLaughlin's performance today in that midfield?
Yeah, I mean, she's worked tirelessly. Again, nothing that I didn't already expect from her. You know, she's up against 2 quality midfielders in Walsh and Cuthbert, and you know, she's certainly put her stamp on the game, how tenacious, how much ground she's covered, and then kept it simple. Her and Van Egmond as well, and Tierney have picked up the second ball nicely. You know, they've competed for everything and then tried to pick up the second ball and get their team playing. That
balance of youth in McLaughlin, who's only 20, and then Van Egmond, who's 32, the balance of experience and youth, it's ideal really for a midfield.
That's right, and Sam Tierney's played in this league. You know, she's got lots of caps in the WSL, so again, she's you know, middle-aged, I suppose, but got so much experience in the WSL. She would have played against these top teams, you know, numerous times, and can just add so much nous and experience to the team.
Well, we are back underway. 10 minutes to go. Chelsea 1, Leicester 0. Walsh. Thompson. Fancies it one-on-one, but can't find any room to escape in, and then the foul is made rather foolishly. Well, it's just an out-dangled leg. Shouts of off towards Heather Payne. Seems a bit extreme, but a yellow card is the answer.
I think he's been quite a good matchup between these two, Heather Payne and Thompson. She's come on, and you just don't know which way Thompson's going to go. Is she going to go on inside on her favoured right foot, or go down the outside? And we know she can deliver on that left foot, but you know, Payne does well in the initial phase, but then goes through her in that second bite. But again, so maybe defender just be a little bit more patient, but Thompson does well to draw the foul, doesn't she?
Yeah, naivety from Payne, really. Maybe confident after winning that first battle and then just wanting to win it again in the second round. Erin Cuthbert is the Chelsea player who stands over this free kick. Danger for Leicester City. It's looped to the back post, and Janina Leipzig takes it very confidently. She's not let her team down today at all, has she, Janina Leipzig?
No, I was just thinking exactly the same, what she's had to do, whether it's in the air, on the floor. She's done extremely clean, hasn't she, confidently, and made the right decision in the right moment. And there was nothing that she could have done with a goal.
It was so close quarters, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, exactly. You've just got to make a decision and make your side that you go to. But yeah, she has. She's really stepped up and delivered and been that security in that safe space that a team that then they can build the foundations from her.
Forward it goes. Rather aimless, actually, from Berman. Now Tierney. There's a runner ahead of her. That runner is Irik Statia, but you held your imaginary flag up in the air there. You could call that from our position.
Yeah. I think maybe the ball should have been played the first time. I think she looked up, then took another touch, and then eventually played it. But, you know, again, all credit to Irik Statia. You know, she's still making those runs, trying to stretch the play, trying to really stretch this Chelsea defence.
Yeah, she's shown plenty of energy, as has the whole of the Leicester City team, to be fair. Because when that early goal went in and you're playing against the treble winners, you're thinking, oh, this could be a tough afternoon for us.
Yeah, I think everybody, you have a big sigh of relief. Well, big sigh, you know, the what's to come, how are we going to stop this, you know, wave and wave of attack, and how are we going to prevent? But all credit to Leicester, they've regrouped exceptionally well.
And they're still in it, ultimately. Here's Bjorn. Now Bright. Back to Bjorn. Harmono comes deep to collect. Hampton. Shout from Berman to play it out to the left-hand side. But their pass was a scuffed one. And Leicester City get reward for their high press. Well, they're not going to take the throw in just yet because they are making a change. Well, Olivia McLaughlin is off. And Ayane is on in place of her. Well, it's a forward on for a midfielder.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I want to, you know, Rosella Ayane won't be going in centre midfield and is a totally different profile to McLaughlin, so it'll be interesting to see. But she is a willing runner and she is a great outlet for Leicester to have.
Poor pass from Beaver Jones. Thibault flies in, had to win that on a yellow card, remember. Irik Statia out wide. Ayane, first touch taken out over on the far side by Ellie Carpenter. And Leicester City in this position will feel confident they can cause Chelsea some trouble at the back.
I mean, it's an instant impact, isn't it, from Ayane? You know, just so well, just to move the ball, move her feet and draw the foul.
Carpenter maybe just showing the first signs of fatigue in this game. Maybe she's been up and down that right-hand side so much. A lot of targets in the middle here for Leicester City. As the home support try and give their side the backing they can to get their heads on this. They've been disappointing from set pieces so far in this game, Leicester City. 5 minutes to go. What can they do here at Kings Meadow? Something for Chelsea to think about. Something off the training ground. The shot comes in. It's blocked in the 6-yard box. And Chelsea clear it away as Thompson tries to lead the counter-attack. It's a risky ball out wide, but it pays off for Leicester City. Thibault ends up on the floor after pushing the back from Carpenter. No foul, says the referee. Here's Kerr. First time round the corner looking for Beaver Jones, but Cayman just has to get in the way of Beaver Jones and allow it to run behind for a goal kick. But that free kick, something different from Leicester City.
Yeah, it was, and probably the right person to strike it. Rantala, you know, we've seen her score many free kicks, and she's certainly got that finesse that you need when you're eyeing up. But yeah, I think it just got blocked, didn't it? Too many bodies to maybe get through.
Guro Wrighton is coming on for Chelsea. Joanna Carnerid is going to come on as well. Now 5 changes for Sonia Bompastor to make. Leicester City still only with the 2 made, but Maggie Beaver-Jones is one of those players who's come off, and as it stands, she has the match winner in the bag. But more fresh legs is probably what Chelsea need at the moment. Confident header at the back by Carpenter, but the offside flag is raised against Leicester City as time continues to tick away from the side in pink.
It's interesting that since Guro Reiten has come on, she's that left side wing back, and Alyssa Thompson's gone in field, you know, to really create some space there. She's in the top of the screen in the midfield area, so it's going to get tighter for her, and maybe we won't see that battle between her and Heather Payne. Heather Payne will now have a third, so she had Baltimore, Thompson, and now she's up against Guro Reiten, who's, again, totally different profile, likes to deliver early. Her and Sam Kerr over the years have linked up exceptionally well.
Gives it away to Cayman, who continues to impress for Leicester City at the ripe old age of 36. Payne up against Reiten. Full-back advanced here for Leicester City. Has support. Eiríksdóttir back to Payne. Now Ayan to Eiríksdóttir. The flag stays down. Ayan gets it back. Finds a cross as well, but that cross is into the third row of supporters behind Hannah Hampton's goal. Good link-up play, but disappointing outcome again for Leicester.
Yeah, especially when there was 3 in the box ready to attack it. So, you know, again, it's great to see they're not settling for it. They can still feel that like they can get something out of this game. But like you say, really good, intricate, neat passing in the wide areas for Leicester.
It's misjudged by Cayman. Chelsea will get the throw-in up the right-hand side, up their left-hand side, I should say. Chelsea centre-backs reluctant to progress into the Leicester City half. Kerr can't keep it in. Talking about those Chelsea centre-backs, what have you made of Vila Berman making her first Chelsea start today?
Yeah, I mean, she's slotted in extremely well, like she's been playing for Chelsea for years. I think she adds great balance, being left-footed to open the pitch in possession, you know, good range of passing. And again, she'll get better and better with the more minutes that she plays, and able to you know, build on the connections and how other people, teammates, like to receive it. And defensively, you know, she's done very well, hasn't she? Looked very calm, composed for such a young player.
She really has. As that ball goes out for a Leicester City throw-in. It did come in before going out again. Yeah, Vila Berman, she won the Johan Cruyff Talent of the Year not too long ago for the most talented young Dutch footballer. 19-year-old impressing this afternoon. Here's Bright. Armano. Against the head of Asmita Ale. Well, how much injury time are we going to get? Well, there's your answer. The loudspeaker says 6 minutes added on at the end here. As the noise rises just a little bit inside Kings Meadow. Chelsea supporters trying to encourage their players over the line. Tierney pulled back by Walsh. Foolish and unnecessary, really, from Walsh, who might be lucky to escape without a yellow card here. But she has her name taken by the referee, Mel Bergen. Didn't need to make that foul in that position on the halfway line.
No, that's right, especially when there's a defender ready to take over the responsibility to shepherd Tierney down the line. But sometimes when you're fatigued and towards the end of the game, you make rash decisions.
Big moment for Leicester City. Tierney goes long, Bright with the header. Ayan, left-footed with the strike! Oh, it hits the crossbar! Van Egmond over! What an opportunity for Leicester City. In the 91st minute of this game, they're presented with probably the best opportunity they've had. The follow-up was offside against Van Egmond, but Hannah Hampton was scrambling across. And that is the closest that Leicester City have come to an equaliser in this game. What a strike by Ayan.
I mean, it's fabulous, isn't it? Hannah Hampton just about covered it, didn't she? But Emily Van Egmond's clearly offside on the second phase. But this and Rosella Ayan, that's a non-preferred foot. She isn't left-footed. But again, it certainly causes Chelsea a lot of problems.
Here's Thompson making the most of that electric pace that she has. Wrighton, Thompson, back to Wrighton. Lovely football from the home side. Wrighton into the 6-yard box, but dealt with well by Leicester City. They've not cleared it. Hamano still can't clear it. Thompson, lots of blue shirts in support. Payne plays it against Thompson, but it stays in. Here's Kira Walsh. Back to Natalie Bjorn. And Millie to Carpenter, who lines up a shot, and goodness me, Janina Leipzig, at the last minute, pulled out of that, had her angles right, and thankfully for her, it just rolls wide. Hannah Hampton, though, has had such a comfortable afternoon up until this moment.
Yeah, just does she get a little touch on it as well? And it's interesting because when the wide free kick comes in, you think, oh, it's landing on Millie Bright's head, and she does get that first header. And you think, oh, if anything, just keep it away from Millie Bright. She heads on, you know, she heads and attacks everything. But that second phase from Rosella Ayan, that's what you're there to do, get the second ball.
Do they have another opportunity up their sleeve? 3 minutes remain of the 6 added on here at Kingsmeadow. Chelsea 1, Leicester City 0. Here's Wrighton. We'll take the throw in. Kira Walsh been solid in midfield once again. That Chelsea trio in the middle in the first half, and then the second half have just shown the quality that they have at times, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. You know, the way they manipulate the opposition, move the ball. You know, her and Cuthbert, again, a really good relationship, complementing each other's styles exceptionally well.
Captain in there in the first half as well, and Hamano dropping in the second half. Time is escaping Leicester City. Remember, they had that incredible result against Liverpool last time out. They can snatch a draw from the unbeatable side. They'll be thrilled as Walsh doesn't get the throw in. Has to be careful not to throw the ball away. She's on a yellow card, remember. Payne. Kira Walsh is there. Spins away from 1, 2, and then finds the pass as well. Cuthbert forward for Sam Kerr, but she's gone just too soon, and Leicester will get the free kick, and Kerr for a moment there found her space.
Yeah, she's always on the back shoulder, ready for that ball in behind.
A minute to go. Payne direct, looking for Eirik. Bright away. Van Egmond's header. Tierney up. Up goes Payne. Tierney will get the loose pass. Seconds ticking away for Leicester City. Here's Smita Ale. Carpenter steps in. No room for Rantala. Only 2 changes made by Leicester City in this game, remember. .30 seconds to go. Here's Thompson. Can she make the most of that slip? Here's the flying fullback. Thompson inside looking for Hamano, but they weren't on the same wavelength there. Payne on her haunches. And maybe has a bout of cramp at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. She's had an excellent game, hasn't she? You know, been faced against many challenges, world-class challenges. And she's certainly stepped up and not only defended well, but also got up to help her teammates as well.
Chelsea make it 3 wins from 3 in the WSL. Once again, Aggie Beaver-Jones on the score sheet.